In this video, I'm gonna show you how to shop animal-based, even at Walmart. There's actually some pretty good options in here. I'm gonna show you how to shop affordably animal-based, and then a little bit better. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive, but there's, like I said, there's some good options in here. And because I'm gonna be looking for deals, I got my buddy, Bobby Parrish. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Let's go. Let's do it. Come on, guys.
Let's do it.
Into Walmart we go.
All right, this is a super center, so we're gonna have a lot of good options here.
It's actually pretty impressive what I've found in the past at Walmart.
Yeah, they up their game.
Let's start with meat, and then we'll come back for some produce.
Sounds good.
80/20 grass-fed ground beef at Walmart. Pretty incredible. $6.86 a pound, so not the cheapest ground beef in the world, but it's grass-fed ground beef and it's 80/20.
I think the 80/20 is actually $5.86.
Oh,
yeah,
is
the
it?
93.7 will be a little more expensive, yeah.
Oh, even.
And I'd rather have more fat anyway. More fat, more flavor.
I agree with you completely. So Bobby just saved us $1 here. $5.86 a pound for grass-fed ground beef at Walmart. If you want to get something a little nicer for the ground beef, we've got organic grass-fed ground beef. But what do you think about this? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I mean, they're already pasture-raised, 100% grass-fed. I don't want to pay the premium for the USDA stamp on there.
And you figure if a cow is eating grass for its whole life, what's the difference between a grass-fed cow and an organic grass-fed cow? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's probably just that you're paying extra for the USDA stamp.
Agreed.
And my suspicion is that this and this are basically the same thing.
Totally agreed.
And this
even though
one,
it doesn't sample 100% grass-fed, if you turn it around, it does say grass-fed, grass-finished. I know some people get worried about that.
Yeah.
And Walmart's one of the only grocery stores that has 80/20. Normally 85/15 is the best you can get, and we want more fat.
it does taste better with more fat. But this is, like we said, $5.86 a pound. This one is $7.28 a pound. So it's, I guess they've got, this is 93.7, whatever. But I don't think you need to actually pay extra for that.
Or you can get the Impossible patty for $14 a pound.
Is it really?
It's $14 a pound.
Oh my God.
That is absurd.
Wow. And look at this. You can see they show you what it looks like. I don't know if they should have done this. I think they should have like hidden the way it looks. It's like, that's interesting packaging.
Yeah.
So you can get some extra seed oils.
Yes, some soy.
Fillers, soy, methyl cellulose. You can get sawdust for $14 a pound. Walmart also has grass-fed steaks.
Yes.
Shout out to Walmart. They got a ribeye here, a grass-fed ribeye. I mean, it's not a cheap grass-fed ribeye. It's $20 a pound, but...
Pro tip though, sometimes they'll put a reduced price sticker on there as it gets closer to the best buy date, so keep an eye out for that.
And it makes it cheaper.
Yes.
Amazing. And so, okay, so that's the highest quality meat at Walmart, which is not bad. You can shop pretty high quality here. Let's go over and check out the cheaper meat. So if you're on a budget, I really believe that you can even shop animal-based for $15 a day, all right? And you could do that.
There you go.
With something, this is the meat sausage rocket,
It is. Actually, look at that, 73.27, even more fat.
It's gonna be rich.
$3.32 a pound.
$3.32 a pound. So that's pretty darn cheap, guys. And that's, look, if you're on a budget, you can do it. And don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Obviously, I think we both believe it's worth it to invest a little more for the grass-fed.
100%.
But if you're really tight, that's going to be fine.
But look at this one here, which is just regular factory farm meat, is $7 a pound versus the $5.85 for grass-fed. There's a bit of an arbitrage here, so I would definitely go for the grass-fed over the regular one.
Yeah, that's crazy. Walmart doesn't really tell you that, but like the regular ground beef is more expensive than the grass-fed ground beef.
All right, here we go. Cheese.
So cheese at Walmart. You were pointing out that they have some grass-fed cheese here.
Yeah, this is the only brand that I've ever seen that's only at Walmart. It's called Old Croc, and they should probably advertise it more, but it's 100% grass-fed, non-GMO Australian cheese.
Cool. And then I was noticing, this is pretty interesting, guys. They have Gruyere cheese, which is kind of a, you ever had Gruyere?
Yeah, I love it.
It's it's a little bit stronger cheese.
I love it.
But this is a raw cheese. Because it's made in Switzerland, this brand Emmy, this is a raw cheese. And you can see right here on the label, made with raw milk. So you can find raw cheese even at Walmart. That's pretty cool.
And even though it doesn't say it, my guess is that they're probably using 100% grass-fed cattle for this. They're probably not using grain-fed.
I think that most of the cattle that make these cheeses in Europe are grass-fed.
Yep, for sure.
So there's some good options.
So like one thing I always like to tell people is that even though it says Kerrygold's 100% grass-fed cows, it's 95% grass-fed, 5% supplemental grain feed, but that grain is non-GMO, so Dubliner is always a great option.
They got in trouble for that a few years ago. They weren't 100% honest.
Yeah, but now they're square.
They're open. All right, yeah. So, I mean, look, in terms of prices, cheese is not the cheapest thing, but
Yeah.
you know, $6.97 for 6 ounces of Gruyere cheese. That would probably be my choice.
$8 a pound for the Aussie grass-fed. Not bad.
All right, so that's cheaper, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted a good cheese, you could get a decently priced cheese that's even grass-fed here. So I'm gonna get some of this raw cheese. I'm gonna put that in the cart, and we're gonna go shop for some fish at Walmart.
Let's do it. Walmart does not have, Paul, a fishmonger. So if you want
What's
fish,
a fishmonger?
the place where they cut it fresh and stuff for you. But they do have frozen fish. So
Yeah.
check it out. We got different kinds of salmon here.
You were telling me about this.
I was.
This is crazy.
So pink salmon is wild caught, as it says there. But this is where you really got to read labels because what does it say right down there?
Product of China.
Yeah, so even though the wild caught salmon is from Alaska, it's cheaper to process it in China and ship it back here than it is to do it here.
Sketchy.
Very sketchy because you lose the traceability, and that's not something I would want to eat.
That's sketchy. Okay.
Very, very sketchy.
So I'm going to pass on the pink
Yes.
salmon from China.
Yes. But check this out. You have multiple options of wild caught here. Tuna, swordfish, mahi-mahi, grouper. They always have USA salmon, just not today. And what did you notice about that?
Yeah, this is kind of cool. You've got some cooked octopus, product of Spain, wild caught. It's not the cheapest thing here because it's kind of a gourmet item, but if you're into, I think they call it taco, T-A-K-O, when you get, it's cooked, so it's not raw octopus, but sushi is taco, T-A-K-O. But I mean, I like octopus.
I like it. Well, I've been watching documentaries about how smart they are and how close to humans they are, so I kind of feel bad about eating it now.
Well, yeah, it's
but
part
they're
of,
so tasty.
it's part of the cycle, I guess.
I know.
But this is interesting. So like, I wonder how many heavy metals are in the sea.
Yeah, swordfish is a little too big of a fish for me. I agree. I prefer a smaller one, and I love wild-caught scallops too.
Yeah.
You know, you see the wild-caught USA. So it's pretty solid options for a Walmart.
Yeah, yeah. For Walmart, they have wild fish options. I don't know how you think about fish, but I always caution people about making their whole diet fish because of the heavy metals, the PFAs, so the forever chemicals. You got microplastics in there. I think fish is okay sometimes, but especially if you guys have elevated levels of heavy metals, think about the fish and where it could be coming from. I mean, eat some fish sometimes, especially if you catch it yourself, but just be aware that the fish seems to bioaccumulate this stuff more than meat on the land because it's literally swimming in it.
Very true.
You feel the same way?
Yeah, something to keep in mind for
sure. Little sketchy. So we're gonna pass on that. If I were gonna get something, I'd probably get the octopus though, even though it's super smart.
So smart. So smart and so tasty.
Look at this, man. Looks like somebody
had 2 donuts and decided
Is this you? Did you
No.
do this? Somebody ate.
Yikes.
This is Walmart, guys. Somebody ate 2 Krispy Kreme
Someone had
donuts
a quarter cup of seed oils and was like, I'm done.
and just left it there. We'll just leave it there. So
All right.
maybe that's discounted now.
Yeah, let's find something more healthy perhaps. Like chicken.
So I don't eat a lot of chicken because it's hard for me to find good options where I am. But I think that even here at Walmart, they've got organic chicken.
We do.
It's not the cheapest thing, but it's actually, what is it? It's about the same price per pound as ground beef.
Yeah, for sure. Which nutrient-wise, I'd rather have the ground beef. But I just did a video about this. See how it says right here, no hormones added by the chicken? So it's actually been illegal since 1950 to do hormones in chicken. They can still do it in beef and pork. So I'd be more focused on organic, so it has a non-GMO diet. But the one thing I don't love is if you notice on this chicken, it'll say like up to a 5% retained water there. It's very hard to see, but that means this chicken was water chilled. So they slaughter them, dunk them in like a water bath with a little bit of chlorine, and it soaks up a lot of that, which affects the texture and stuff. So you want air chilled chicken, but they actually don't have it here.
So even this organic chicken.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's the best you can do here.
Yeah, may contain up to 5% retained water. So the better chicken will say air chilled.
Yes, they'll have a stamp on there, but they don't have it here.
So you think that the water they're dunking this in is going to have chlorine?
Yeah, it always has a little bit to kill the bacteria.
I wonder if it has fluoride in it too. I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, not ideal.
Not ideal. But let's talk about those. So the thing that's interesting is that you said that they can do hormones in beef and pork.
Yeah.
But I guess when they're doing a grass-fed beef, no hormones.
No.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
No, not gonna happen.
But you know, the cheaper beef might have some hormones.
It could.
That's the cost benefit analysis.
It's a trade-off.
If you're on a budget, again, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. But if you've got the extra cash, that's what you're getting is a higher quality product.
Totally.
With the grass-fed beef. So they've got free-range chicken, they've got organic chicken, so non-GMO, no pesticides in the feed. That's what organic chicken means. They're still getting grains, so the organic chicken is still going to get corn and soy, but you know, I'd still go for the beef, but if you guys want some variety, look for an air-chilled organic chicken.
Yep.
They don't have it here, but that's interesting.
How about this? How about the chicken paws?
Oh yeah, this is
Check
great.
this out.
This is great, guys. So we saw this at Walmart. Apparently, chicken feet are now called chicken paws.
Yeah. It's better marketing.
I guess so. Would you rather buy chicken claws or chicken paws?
Yeah.
I mean, these are kind of intense. They have like these little, you can see the chicken nails
Yeah, the
on
nails
there.
are still on there.
It's
But
kind
there's so much collagen and gelatin in there. If
These
you
are-
boil that for like
Yep.
3 hours, 4 hours, or pressure cook it, you basically made bone broth.
this is a good thing for bone broth.
Yeah. So I mean, you might think of it as gross, but for $3 for $1.70, you could probably make a gallon of collagen-rich bone broth.
There's a ton
which
in
is
here.
very animal-based friendly.
Chicken paw bone broth
there you go.
is the next thing.
It's a recipe coming to Paul's blog next week.
Chicken paw bone broth. All right, so seafood part 2.
Yes.
We got the Atlantic salmon here with color added.
There's no difference between these two big time here.
So look at the colors here.
Yeah.
Alaskan sockeye, Atlantic salmon. So all Atlantic salmon is farm raised.
Correct.
And if you look on the back here, it says color added through the feed.
Yep. Product of where it's probably Chile or Norway.
I think it says on the front here, product of Chile.
There we go.
So there are big salmon farms in Chile where they're feeding them orange colored pellets
Yep.
to make them this color.
Yep. But do you know what the actual natural color of them are?
It's white.
Yeah.
It looks like this.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it's like white or gray, and they know that would freak us out as a consumer, so they have to put beta carotene and other ingredients in their feed to make it look pleasable to you and I. It's crazy.
And this is interesting though, because this is the color from algae or
Yep.
whatever it's getting in the.
Yep, swimming, the oxygen. It's a couple dollars more per pound, but the
Yep.
nutrients of this compared to that is going to
Yep.
be miles better.
Yeah, and so again, if you're on a budget going animal-based,
Yep.
fish might not be the most affordable option. The Atlantic salmon is $9.47 a pound. I wouldn't get it at all. The actual wild salmon is $11.50 a pound. If you want salmon from time to time, you want to treat, that's a better option.
Agreed.
And what did we see here earlier? Even the tuna.
The tuna
It says wild caught,
had
But
some
it-
smoke,
but it has
flavorless
some,
smoke or something.
It has some tasteless smoke.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe to preserve it or something like that.
Yeah,
but we'll take
it's
a tuna, larger fish, higher mercury.
More
Probably
metals.
don't want that also.
Yeah.
It's tricky. And then tilapia is always farm raised, very low quality in my opinion.
Yep.
So
I guess that wild salmon is the best option.
it's the
there.
only option I would
Yeah,
get.
we got some cooking oils, which is pretty cool because they actually have tallow. So animal fats are my favorite cooking fats. People always ask me what I cook in. It's just, I use say tallow or butter or ghee.
Yep.
This is pretty cool. You pointed this out to me. There's even a Walmart brand of grass-fed
It's a
ghee.
great price too.
And they have another ghee. Ghee is clarified butter, but I mean, this is awesome that Walmart folks
Not
are.
all will have it. Super centers will have a really good fat selection. $14 is not a bad deal for that. 100% grass fed.
You only need a little bit. And so most of the time when I'm cooking, I don't even use cooking fat much anymore because if we're getting 20% fat or even 18% burgers, I'm just putting that on a grill. I don't need tallow. Or I'm putting that in a stainless steel or a cast iron pan. I don't need any cooking fat. And then one thing, see if you disagree with this, is I tell people like avocado or olive are better if you want it on a salad, but I would never heat those. And be aware that a lot of avocado and olive oils are cut with seed oils. And obviously this is just like this is the stay away. Do not come over here, guys. You guys know seed oils are bullshit already if you've walked anything else. But like, how much avocado and olive oil do you use?
Yeah, I mean, I use it for high heat cooking, but I know it's single origin, real, not cut. And if you're looking for a non-fake extra virgin, something that's actually very budget, but this single origin Tunisian one is a great price here. And I know for a fact it's pure extra virgin, not cut with any BS.
How do you know?
I've done some research about it. I've emailed the company. Usually single origin is like your best line of defense against having cut with seed oils and losing transparency.
But if it's not a single origin, then it could be cut.
Yeah,
So that's important. If you're going to use an olive oil, use a single origin olive oil. I don't use olive oil at all in my cooking because I don't heat it. I don't use it. I don't eat salads. Duh. And my friend, I was actually hanging out with a guy in Miami Beach yesterday, and he had an olive oil in metal. I don't know if they have it here, but yeah, it was a tin. But they don't have it here, but I'll point it out to you guys that if you get an olive oil and it's in something like this, realize that this metal is coated with plastic. And so that plastic is going to leach hormone disrupting chemicals endocrine disruptors, BPA, BPS, BPE, BPF into the oil. So you do not want an oil touching any sort of plastic. It should be in glass.
Just like those boxed waters that
Yes,
people love, they're
yes.
lined with the plastics.
Plastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
All right, stick with the beef fat.
tallow.
That's the moral of the story.
Go with tallow. And even if you're on a budget, you can make that go a long way. So let's look for some fruit.
Okay.
I like fruit for carbohydrates on an animal-based diet. I think some people do okay with like sweet potatoes and other stuff, but mostly I do fruit. Walmart's not great for organic stuff,
Not the
guys.
best.
I found organic Honeycrisp apples, but I could not find anything else organic here.
Wait, we know Paul likes to bring coconuts on the plane.
Yes.
Right, there you go. You can get
Yeah.
5 coconuts for the airplane ride home.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna get some.
That's hilarious.
Yep, you get the metal straw that
Yeah.
goes in there, guys. We'll put some B-roll in here of how you actually open a coconut on
Yeah,
a plane.
that's the number one question. And
Yes.
goes, how do you open the
I have
coconuts?
there's a metal straw that you can bring on a plane. Metal straws are allowed by TSA. You just open it. But this is interesting because I learned something from you that even if you can't do organic produce, or even if you get organic produce, it might be good to wash it with baking soda to get rid of the pesticides.
Yeah, for sure. For berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, you can put them in a bowl with a little bit of water and baking soda and let it sit, and it will get some of the pesticides off there. A lot of times grapes are coated in wax and stuff, and you can just put a salt bowl around them and scrub them, and it takes all that chemical pesticide and wax off.
So I read, there's a study, I think it was a recent study that showed that if you use baking soda for 15 minutes, and it was like 1 teaspoon of baking soda per liter, it got out 90+% of the pesticides from the skin. Doesn't get the pesticides that soak into the fruit, but you can get the pesticides off the skin. So if you're shopping at Walmart and you don't have access to organic foods, baking soda is cheap. A little bit of baking soda in a rinse or a soak, plus maybe some if you want to scrub to get the wax coating off. That'd be good. So if you can't get organic produce, there's ways to clean it with baking soda. It's interesting because baking soda is alkaline, and apparently pesticides are mostly acidic, and so the combination means that it inactivates the pesticides and it works better. Because the study I saw compared vinegar and baking soda, and baking soda was way better than vinegar.
Cool.
So cheap baking soda. Baking soda is like a magical thing, guys. But
I love that.
Organic apples is about all they've got.
That's all they got here.
All right, so we're rolling through here. I don't know if you guys know this, but pickles are animal-based. They're a fruit. It's a cucumber. And these Grillos they're pretty good. They taste good, and the ingredients are not that bad. So I actually will eat Grillos pickles. There's no massive preservatives or anything in there.
Nope.
They're not officially fermented.
Correct, but this one slightly. This one says lightly fermented.
What does that even mean?
Right? So maybe you might want that. I mean, you can get 100% fermented pickles without vinegar, and they have tons of living bacteria in there, but either one of these is solid for Walmart.
I'm just rolling by the Lunchables here, guys, and I can't walk by this without talking about it. I mean, look at this. Like, look at the color of that meat on the label. It even looks like something nuclear and crazy. Apparently, I don't know if you guys knew this, but big tobacco companies used to own the company that makes Lunchables. And I think the Lunchables have gotten in trouble recently because of the levels of lead in there. We looked it up, and it's like one Lunchable has sometimes 50% of the allowable limit of lead per day in California. So please do not feed your kids Lunchables.
We have some solid options for eggs here, Paul. We got not just pasture raised behind the pole here. Check it out. Pasture raised and organic.
Pretty good.
Very solid here. It's a dozen for $5.28, which is a really good deal for organic pasture-raised eggs.
I mean, how can you do better than that? That's got to be cheaper than like other grocery stores for organic and pasture raised.
It is for sure.
And if you're on a budget and you're at Walmart, look, cheapest eggs are
They're $2.33 for a dozen.
$2.33 for a dozen. So there's a big difference in cost of eggs between organic pasture raised versus basic. But these are in hen houses, they're in cages, they're only fed grains. I mean, the conditions that these chickens are living in are nothing like the chickens that are nothing like the conditions that those chickens are living in. So these chickens are not super happy. These are hopefully more happy. But again,
let's play a game. If you had to choose between having organic, regular henhouse eggs versus non-organic pasture raised, what would you choose?
Non-organic pasture
totally.
raised because they're outside.
Yep.
And so pasture raised means 108 square feet per chicken, right? So 108 square feet per chicken means that they're definitely going to get at least some bugs or some worms, and I would do that over organic hen house, just because if you've seen the way these chickens are raised.
50,000 windowless warehouse, bad news.
It's not great, but again, like you can get eggs, which are still an incredibly nutritious food, affordably if you need to. Like it doesn't have to be the craziest thing. I see this comment all the time on my stuff now. Eating healthy is so expensive. And it just makes me think like these people, unfortunately, who say that don't understand the long-term costs.
No, it's very hard to think that way, and like it's an easy cop out also to say that. But
Too expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't work that way. All right, let's go try and find some honey. All right, so honey.
We got some decent honey options here.
It's not bad. I mean, there's this one. I've seen this one before.
Yep.
Pure,
local, raw.
Local.
We even look at this. We have the Walmart brand, USA Raw Honey.
I wonder if it's really raw. I mean, it's kind of like back to olive oil here. Yeah. I know a lot of honey is cut with high fructose corn syrup.
It is. Like, the problem is when you get like the cheap budget honeys,
yes,
it can come from certain parts of Asia where they cut it with corn syrup and rice syrup. So like traceability is a big issue.
Yeah. I mean, but this one, you know, I've seen this one before. And
yeah, that's solid.
This one, it says it's organic. It's an organic creamed honey. This one has a purity award. This one says it's tested for 130 contaminants.
Yeah. It's
not in glass, but I think that's probably one of my best choices at Walmart, at least.
And also, like, there's an advantage of getting local honey. So we're in Florida right now. This is Florida honey. It's allergy season now. Yeah. So if you eat local honey, it can help with your allergies. And what was the big deciding factor that made you want to start eating honey?
I just wanted more calories. So one of the issues for me was that I wasn't getting enough carbohydrates. And I thought about, you know, I was just eating carnivore, right? I was just eating meat. I was having electrolyte issues. And I thought, you know, in some ways, this is a carnivore food. You know, if people are strict carnivore, I would argue that honey is carnivore. It's not a plant food.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of vegans won't eat it, so it's good enough for me that
if
a vegan won't eat it, then I could eat it on a carnivore diet. Now I eat a little more variety with some fruit, but I just love honey because it helps me get extra calories when I'm so active in Costa Rica surfing all the time. And when you look at the research, there's actual research that honey improves testosterone in men. Chrysin and other chemicals in the honey are beneficial for humans. So I think there are actual, you guys may not believe this, people just say honey is sugar. Well, it's sugar in a like evolutionarily consistent package, and there are compounds in honey that have shown benefit in humans. So I think you don't have to eat as much honey as I do if you're not as active as me. But I think there are beneficial things in honey. Even a tablespoon of honey a day has been shown to be beneficial for humans. Testosterone, potentially even improving glucose tolerance.
Interesting.
Crazy to see that.
Oh yeah, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. And considering that infertility is at all-time high, maybe everyone needs a little honey.
A little honey. I mean, it's not like, who's going to argue with that? That stuff's delicious.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, guys. So last ingredient in the cart, Kellogg's Corn Flakes. You know, this Kellogg's CEO just told us all that corn flakes are a good dinner food.
Yeah, dinner.
Corn flakes for dinner. So
some glyphosate for dinner.
Yeah, glyphosate for dinner with some processed corn and some sugar and salt. But no, I mean, obviously corn flakes are not animal-based, but this is our cart. I tried to pick some of my favorite things that we've seen in this video. I mean, everything in this cart I would eat. We have the grass-fed.
100%.
We have grass-fed steaks. We have grass-fed ground beef. We found some raw cheese. We found organic pasture-raised eggs. We got pickles. We got a honey that's tested and pretty pure, and we got some organic fruit. And we got, of course, the corn flakes.
Yes.
So, I mean, even at Walmart, you can shop animal-based even at Walmart.
Totally.
The two things I hear the most are it's hard to find these foods, not hard to find these foods, even at Walmart, and it's expensive. So, I mean, in terms of cost, there were a lot of options we saw that were pretty affordable today.
Totally.
I think that if you got ground beef for $3.32, if you got eggs for $2.30 a dozen, if you get one of the non-raw cheeses, if you get, you know, maybe some produce that you're going to wash with baking soda, like some apples or some even a papaya or a mango or an avocado over there, you can definitely eat an animal-based diet here for less than $15 a day. I think you could totally do it. So again, there are better options, and I think the investment's worth it.
Totally. And the fact that Walmart has 5,000 stores across the country means that anyone living in middle America can hopefully follow this diet if they want to also.
The one thing that we're missing from this cart, guys, is organs. So if you need more organs in your diet, check out Heart and Soil. Check out Lineage. We just released some meat sticks with liver and heart, and Heart and Soil's got a huge selection there of desiccated organ capsules. We'll try and get them in Walmart. We're still working on them. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, we're gonna head over to Aldi.
Let's
do another video now, so we'll post that video on my channel. See you guys later.
See you guys later.
Bye.